Okay, so we're 2 weeks away from Over the Limit. And we began this week's Raw with John Laurinaitis talking about how awesome he is and how great things are and how he can't make fun of his voice because of what Dr. Death Steve Williams did to him, and then a wonderful montage of him making stupid faces in wrestling matches. All to hype up him taking on John Cena. Punk came down and saved the opening promo, which then led to him booking Punk in a match against Lord Hentai. And then, since he pissed off Punk at the end of the night, it ended up being Lord Hentai and Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk, with Lord Hentai spinning into his hand, rubbing it all over CM Punk's face, and getting the 3 count. All in all, not a bad match. I mean, it was a decent handicap match. I'm pretty sure Punk could wrestle that garbage can that I have full of recyclables, and he could probably put on a pretty solid match. All in all, match work, not bad. I did like the match between Kofi and Ziggler. I thought it was good. They're actually trying to develop somewhat of this thing that we call a tag division. The tag match with Orton, Sheamus versus Jericho and Del Rio. Wow, that was a great match. Lots of back and forth action. And then, of course, changing the Over the Limit match from Sheamus and Del Rio to make it a fatal 4-way, including Orton and Jericho. That's going to be a really solid match right there. I mean, that's going to be a fantastic match. And of course, their tag match ended with a good old-fashioned just litany of finishers, with Jericho picking up the pinfall off the Codebreaker on Sheamus. That was done very well. Cody Rhodes defended his IC title against The Big Show. Show was dominant, and then Cody just hightailed it out of there, which then led to Show having to say he was sorry to EA for making fun of John Laurinaitis' voice. To be honest, at this point in time, I really don't care at all for each character. I don't. I don't think she's really getting over anymore. I mean, if she's not going to wrestle and she's just going to talk, I think she currently gets more airtime than the women who actually wrestle. Speaking of which, there is a Divas non-tag match. Layla and Kelly took on Maxine and Natalya. And there were 0 tags. And Layla pretty much dominated Maxine and hit a really good old-fashioned stiff neck breaker, 1, 2, 3. A fairly decent match. I'm glad Layla's back. I'm looking forward to her feud with Beth Phoenix. They showed in the background, Epico, Primo, and Rosa with AW. And I was like, man, the group really needs Mason Ryan. They pan back. Well, there's Mason Ryan. If he's going to be called kind of like the all-world group, it would make sense to have someone like Mason Ryan, Ezekiel Jackson, Jinder Mahal. There's a whole group of people who are international stars who would fit beautifully into a really robust stable like that. They did a rehash version that Lesnar's been going through. If this legal counsel was going to show up, I went, dude, it'd be awesome if it was Heyman. And it was Paul Heyman. And I guess Lesnar quit. We know he's coming back so he can have his feud with Triple H sometime around SummerSlam. So, that kind of is what it is. Not bad in the way of setting up for things to go on with the Over the Limit, adjusting one of the matches. I think the Punk match with Bryan's going to be really fantastic. A good fatal 4-way. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to make Show pay for making fun of John Laurinaitis. And then Cena, cut a promo talking about live via satellite, where he was going to beat the crap out of John Laurinaitis. Even though his doctor decided that he can't do it, and he should get, his elbows be drained like twice a day. And then he said, if they have to amputate my arm, I'm still going to wrestle. And my first thought was, man, that's how you sell an injury. John Cena, removing from his elbow down and still wrestling. I might actually cheer for him if he did that. But you know, it'll be weird because we know that that match is gonna have to end in some way, shape, or form with John Cena being written out for a couple of months so he can hopefully rehab all his nagging injuries. All in all, a fairly decent Raw. You know, it's actually making some pretty decent headway. Over the Limit has got to do a lot more to even come close to topping what we saw at Extreme Rules.